to the call to the tenders of European Commission, and we as consortium have been believed a lot in the chance offered by the European Commissions, above all the DG Tourism, for the tourism through the DG Tourism, through the launch of the call of these standards, try to give a tangible proof of supporting the companies. What is the main the politics context of the tender to which we respond? To increase the competitiveness of the European tourism industry through what? Through improving the human capital skills and to developing the capacity of company to do what? To successfully complete the twin transition, the digital one and the green one, to enhance innovation, resilience, sustainability, and quality through all the tourism value chain. So, what is the main project aims? So, the main project aims of Tourism 4.0 that is funded by the European Commission, in particular by the COSME funds, is to help not only the small and medium, but above all the micro enterprises to integrate the most advanced digital solution into their business strategies to achieve practically constant and sustainable growth. How to implement technology transfer, capacity building, support and assistance programs aimed at enable tourism, small and medium enterprises to adopt and exploit emerging digital technologies to improve productivity, sustainability, and overall performance. What we had, the consortium, we are the Tourism 4.0 consortium is composed of 10 leading partners from 6 European countries that they are Italy, Portugal, Croatia, Spain, Poland, Malta. And all of us, we are operating in tourism, innovation, and business service sectors. But what is the Tourism 4.0 training? It will consist of a series of online webinars and workshops, Peel of Knowledge, that will be organized by our partners, several of whom are innovation experts. These experts will discuss key topics focusing on technology and the low-cost carbon solution to increase the tourism industry overall productivity, efficiency, and resilience. This is a general overview of the activities that are going to be held. Of course, you will be available on the section dedicated of the website of Tourism 4.0 website. So to have just a view of when it could be the event could be held. But yes, just to go in detail, the training programs, how we decide which will be the training program topics. Actually, at the beginning of the project, we submitted a survey through the companies, and this to ask which will be their requests. And from the survey relieved 5 main challenges that we have to face, and that we are going to try to find a solution through these training programs. The 5 main topics are improve customer experience, develop digitalization or environment sustainability tools, obtain and maintain the quality of service parameters, improve automated operations. The fourth one, it is improve booking and revenue management, and then improve communications and digital marketing with customers. So these are the 5 challenges that the survey relieved. But so we are going to discuss 3 main areas. So that will be the technology and solution towards productivity and efficiency, digital sustainability and low carbon solution, and then resilience, so safety and compliance guide solution. I mean, in detail, there will be the webinar, the workshops will be on digital skills, digital marketing, the 5G use case, Internet of Things, blockchain, cyber security, big data and data analytics, artificial intelligence, then augmented reality versus virtual reality, circular economy. These are, I mean, the topics that will be discuss during our events. Through what will be the training programs tool? Okay, so as already said, there will be webinars, workshops, also piece of knowledge that will be held online. They will during from 45 minutes to 60 minutes with a section of question and answers. Then there will be also there will be available infographics of visual summary on specific topics, and also a list of external resources relevant for the tourism small and medium enterprises for each participant country. Then on the website, there will be a section of mentors and tech providers that you can that you can check on as I said on the website, and you can suite with your needs the most. So feel free to contact them. You can check them and try to feel one will be the most the ones that most suits for your request. This is available for both mentors and tech providers. So for the enterprises that will be funded okay, it's mandatory to attend online on at 5 out of 15 webinars and workshops that will be proposed, and at 3 out of 9 pieces of knowledge that will be proposed during all the training programs. Then at the end of all the activities, final reports they have to submit to us, to each country representative partner, final reports. We will send you a template that you will have to fill out to test your improvements. And all the training programs will last from today until January 2024. Even if the activities will be finished by November, but on January it will be a final events that I'm going to explain better now what will be done. So how it doesn't work. I mean, you will receive an email with the link of Eventbrite, and you have to register, and then you will be able to attend to the webinar. You will receive the email from your country representative. And I think that we are going to send you once or two in a month. So you will have the time to organize and to check in your agenda the events. Then from the day after, the webinar will be available on a YouTube channel that will be available on the Tourism 4.0 websites. Then in this next month, and we will give you more information, will be available, will be held a pitch session and a boot camp in Malaga. During the pitch session and business matchmaking between the select companies and the tech providers. Instead, in Malaga, so the pitch session maybe will be held online. Instead, the boot camp in Malaga will be face to face, or we don't know yet. Maybe they could be combined, but we will give you more information later. And then, as I told before, there will be a final conference in January. It's planned in January 2024, where on European Tourism 4.0 Awards, where the best of the smart solution will be awarded. We hope to see all of you. So just a few words, and then I will give the word to Antonio. Okay, so the program is for free in English. It will be in interconnection between problem owner and problem solvers. Thank you so much to be connected and to follow us. Thank you to all, and thank you, Walter, and please, Antonio. Thank you.
Very good, Valeria. Thank you so much for your informative presentation on the Tourism 4.0 training plan. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our second speaker for today. It's Antonio Neves from Google Portugal. Antonio, as an industry manager for travel at Google Portugal, is focused on helping the biggest stakeholders in the travel industry to reach their business objectives and thrive in the digital world through the power of Google tools. Today, Antonio will be sharing insights into the Google latest tool solutions for the travel operators. And these solutions have been specifically designed to help business in the tourism industry. Now, I will give you the stage for Antonio.
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Walter. Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Valeria, as well, for the introduction. So as Walter said, my name is Antonio. I've been working at Google for over 10 years. I'm extremely lucky to work in a great company like Google, but at the same time to work with probably what's the most fascinating industry of all, which is travel. I obviously, as anyone in this call, I love to travel. I'm actually going tomorrow on holidays to Cape Verde. Can't wait to be on that flight. So really looking ahead. I guess like right now, this is my biggest piece of work before I leave for holidays. So let's get to it. So as Walter said, the goal here today for me is to give you a brief introduction to a series of tools, some of them specific for the travel industry, others that, although they weren't specifically built for the travel industry, they could definitely help anyone that works in this sector. So I'll try to give a brief overview of some of these tools that Google has been either developing over the years. Some of them are quite new as well, and then maybe give you some ideas on how you can better explore these tools, where you can find more information about them and how you can use them for your business. But before we get into the topic of these tools, I think it's mandatory to kind of give some context here and address this topic that is digital marketing, which is actually where I work a lot on my day-to-day basis. And why digital marketing? Because if we gather all of these tools that we have developed over the years, they can clearly be positioned in several ways as digital marketing tools. But before we jump into that, we need to understand what digital marketing is all about. So according to Philip Kotler, who was one of the greatest marketing authors of our time, marketing is the science and art of exploring, creating, and delivering value to satisfy the needs of a target market at a profit. It defines, measures, and quantifies the identified market size and profit potential, and it identifies which segments the company is able to best serve, and designs and promotes the appropriate products and services. Very well. So this is marketing. This is the definition of traditional marketing, let's say. But what about digital marketing? So digital marketing is basically all of this, but done through digital channels, which is typically associated with doing marketing over the internet, right? However, there are those who extend this definition to all marketing carried out on digital devices, such as computers, mobile phones, and tablets. But why is digital marketing so important for the tourism sector? Because basically the way people plan their trips has changed dramatically over the years. So 20 years ago, there were very few options for us to plan a trip, right? We would probably either go to a travel agency to do the planning for us, or we would buy a paper guide and book the hotels and restaurants that were recommended in that guide. Today, thanks to the internet, we literally have the world at our fingertips and we are overloaded with options, right? And what we see is that more and more travel starts with an online search. And even if it doesn't start out that way, most likely at any point in the planning of our trip, we'll go to Google or to some sort of search engine and search for something related to our trip, right? We'll search for the best vacation destinations, the best hotels in Paris, flights from Lisbon to São Paulo, and much, much more. And there are countless digital interactions leading up to the final decision, right? I can start by researching the best vacation destination. I'll then go to Google Maps to see images of the destination that I'm thinking on traveling to. I'll look for videos on YouTube about what to do on that destination, etc. And this decision process is complex and takes a lot of time. And actually, in a specific study that we carried out, we found that a user usually takes 4 months to make a decision. And in his journey, there are more than 7,000 digital interactions between searches, images, maps, online travel agencies, and much, much more. So the great challenge for companies in the tourism sector is basically to ensure that they are present along this route, along this journey, in a relevant and informative way, right? And all of this is part of a digital marketing strategy, which is why I think this area is so important for this sector. But going back to the definition of digital marketing, I think there are two sentences here that I think that are extremely relevant. The first one is define, measure, and quantify the identified market size. And the second one is promote the appropriate product and services. For me, these are the keywords of the definition of marketing. And when I look at these sentences, I think we can assign them to two specific areas. The first one is the area of data. One of the main functions of marketing is analyzing data to answer key business questions like, where do my customers come from? Is demand for my product increasing or decreasing? What are the interests of my target audience, etc. The second one is the execution of marketing itself, let's say the art of promoting our products and services to this target audience that we are analyzing. And I think it's precisely in these two areas that Google has developed a lot of tools that can be strategic for any company in the tourism sector. On one hand, in the collection and analysis of data. On the other hand, on the execution of digital marketing. So in terms of data, Google provides several free tools that help us to better understand our target audiences and the demand for our products and services. We have, for example, Google Analytics, which allows us, to record and analyze all the behavior of the users within our website, how many users came to our website, how long did they stay, where did they come from. And I think it's kind of unthinkable these days for any company that has a website. Well, first of all, I think it's it's unthinkable for any company to not have a website. So if you are a company and you have a website, I think it's unthinkable for you not to have any sort of tool like Google Analytics or any other sort of web analytics tool. And for those of you that haven't used it yet or are not very familiar with it, the concept is very simple. You basically put a sort of tracker in your website, right? And then you have access to an online tool that will allow you to, answer a bunch of questions. For example, what type of audience is coming into my website, right? Because you have certain information that is specific to that audience, like, what country are they from, what device are they coming from as well. But then you also have, let's say, what we call Google Audience data that allows you to identify this audience. So within Google Analytics, you will be able to understand if the audience that is coming to your website is more interested in sports, in travel, in shopping, in retail, etc. And this kind of, it's one of the most important things because it allows you to understand who is your audience and what type of sector they fall into. But then more importantly as well is understanding where they are coming from or how we are acquiring this audience. For example, are they coming from Google search? Are they coming directly to my website because they already know my brand? Are they coming from a Facebook post, or are they being referred by a third-party website? And all of this is important to understand exactly how you are acquiring clients, how you are acquiring customers, and how you should, let's say, manage your resources and your efforts in order to acquire more clients. Then once they get into your website, Google Analytics allows you to understand or analyze the behavior that the user has within your website. How long did they stay? How many pages did they visit? If you are selling a specific product, what type of products are they looking for? Was there any moment in time where they abandoned my website? And if so, can I understand why? And then finally, obviously, because many of the industries in the tourism sector, what they want to do is sell a product or service. And if you are selling that product or service in your website, Google Analytics allows you to understand exactly what they are buying, what are for example, if you have a hotel, which type of room am I being able to sell better? Which type of room am I not being able to sell for a specific, let's say, audience from a specific market? What's the type of room that they prefer, etc., etc. So obviously, this is the main goal of Google Analytics, is to help you understand not only where users are coming from, what they are doing in your website, and what they are buying. And I wanted to highlight that actually, especially for those of you that have been already using Google Analytics in the past, that we are evolving Google Analytics, and actually let's say the traditional Google Analytics tool, which was called Universal Analytics, is being deprecated over the next few months. And you should be upgrading into a new Google Analytics tool called Google Analytics 4. And what Google Analytics 4 is let's say, an evolution of Universal Analytics that focuses on privacy, on AI, and on prediction. So I'll give a bit of an overview of what the new Google Analytics 4 can do for you. On one hand, the way it collects and measures data is much more intuitive and can give much more information, because it's based on what we call an event-based data model. So basically, you can create events within Google Analytics, so you can try to understand what actions within your website are more important for you. Is it a search within your website? Is it selecting a certain product? Is it adding an extra? Is it doing checkout? And you can any of these actions, you can create events, and then basically understand the behavior of each user based on these events. Then obviously, Google Analytics was built to analyze for insights, so it has machine learning embedded at its core, and it provides any business with power insights and access to data. And let's say the big evolution that Google Analytics 4 has in terms of data analysis is that it can start do what we call predictive analysis. So basically, it can give you predictions on how many users in the future can you expect to get in your website. If you are selling something, what you can predict in terms of you can predict in terms of revenue for your website, but also in terms of audiences. It can help you identify, for example, which audiences are more likely in the future to buy something in your website. So that's obviously super, super important. The integration of data within Google Analytics 4 is something that is at its core as well. And this, when I talk about integration, I talk about integration on one hand with Google tools. Let's say, for example, Google Ads, which I'll talk a little bit further ahead, but also with your own first-party data. So, for example, if you have a CRM, a customer relationship tool like Salesforce, Google Analytics 4 has integrations with these services very, very well. And it allows you not only to integrate the online data that you are getting through Google Analytics, but also offline data. So, for example, if you have users or customers that are buying offline, you can then integrate that data into Google Analytics 4 to basically understand the journey of this client from online to offline. And then obviously, Google Analytics 4 is built to activate on insights. It allows you to develop, a plan to activate these insights and audiences across, again, platforms like Google Ads, and then obviously have unified reporting of all of these audiences across your different platforms. Now, obviously, if I were to do a workshop on Google Analytics, I would probably stay here for around 2 hours. So the best advice I can give to you is, if you're not using Google Analytics yet, or if you wish to learn more on Google Analytics, what I would start is with 2 different data sources. The first one is the actual YouTube channel of Google Analytics. Has a lot of tutorials on how to use Google Analytics with real life use cases. But you also have Google Skills Shop. Google Skills Shop is an online platform that has courses for different Google tools. One of the most important ones being, of course, Google Analytics. So I would search for both the YouTube channel on YouTube and Google Skills Shop on Google Search. And if you want to learn more, you can start exactly from here. Now, the second tool I want to talk about is Google Trends, which basically allows you to identify search trends over time. I think there are numerous ways in which you can use Google Trends. If you've never used it, I can give a very quick example. So, for example, let's say we want to understand if people are searching for Portugal or not. I can just come here and select Portugal country, and then it will give me kind of an evolution of searches over time. I can select what, let's say, market or country I want to look at these trends. I can look at the time frame, but I can also do categories. So, for example, let's say I want to understand that within the travel category, how much people are searching for Portugal within Portugal, right? And I want to do this for the past 30 days. Let's say I can see an evolution to see if there's more interest over time or not. I can look at each subregion to see where is there more interest. But more importantly, I think what you can do as well that is very, very interesting, and usually this is the way I try to use this tool, is try to understand what specific topics people are looking for. So on one hand, you can look at, so you have topics, topics are, let's say, a set of queries. So for example, Ricky Gervais, who is coming to Portugal in, is it October, I think? I actually got tickets for it. I'm very happy that I got the tickets. They were sold out in like 30 minutes. This doesn't mean that it's the query Ricky Gervais comedian. It just means that it's a set of queries of people searching for Ricky Gervais. But here on the right side, you actually have the queries, right? And what you can do is on one hand, you can look at what topics are growing the most. So during these past 30 days, which topics have been growing the most, but then you can actually look at the top queries, let's say. So what are people searching more? And you can see obviously like the query Portugal is the one that is searched the more, but then tickets, so bilhetes, tickets for a Portugal football game, Madeira, so people in Portugal are searching a lot for Madeira, for Sintra as well, and this can already give you some insights on certain destinations. So what you can do as well, for example, is I can try and understand if people are searching more for, let's say, Algarve, or if they are searching more for Alentejo, which is another region in Portugal. I can compare them. I can see that clearly people are searching more for Algarve. What then I can do as well is, because right now I'm only looking at let's say domestic demand, so people that are actually in Portugal. I can look for, let's say, put again Portugal. Sorry, I can do Portugal. Let's put country. So it's any query related to Portugal in travel, but I want to look at the US. Okay, and then I can see, okay, people from the US, what are they searching for? So, and let's put top topics. So Lisbon is the city that they search the most. Flights to Portugal, Madeira, very searched for as well. Azores, but then again, rising topics. I can look at, you know, more specific queries that sometimes are not even related to destinations. For example, Belém Tower is one of the, which is a monument here in Lisbon, is one of the things that is growing the most. Comporta is a small destination near Lisbon that apparently is growing a lot within American tourists. So basically, you can set out to explore what people are searching for, either related to tourism or not. So there's a lot of things that you can explore here. If you have, let's say, a certain hotel brand, you can try and understand if people are looking more for your hotel brand or one of your competitors, for example. That's one of the things I like to do a lot. So I mean, there's numerous ways on how you can use Google Trends. Then the next tool I would like to talk about, this one is in fact specific for the travel industry and for travel operators, is Destination Insights and Hotel Insights. What Destination and Hotels Insights is a tool that looks at queries specifically for flights and accommodations from one country to another. It works in a very simple way. You just, to look for these tools, you just need to search for Destination Insights or Hotel Insights within Google search. I'll show the Destination Insights one because I think, honestly, I think it's the most complete one. And what I'm going to do here is, for example, let's say, again, I have a business or a hotel in Portugal, and I want to understand who exactly is looking for Portugal within the past 2 months. I think that's the date that is here. And what this shows me first is how much have queries for Portugal worldwide, so queries from all around the world, have evolved over time, and if they are growing year over year or not. So for example, if this dotted line is the queries for last year, and what we can see is that there is still a lot of growth in terms of searches for accommodation in Portugal. So actually, if we look at the past 2 weeks, we're still looking at growth of over 30% year over year, which is very interesting because this time last year we were already like kind of leaving the pandemic, so tourism is already booming. So it's very healthy that we're still seeing a year over year growth. And then what you can do here is try to understand, on one hand, where is where's the interest in different areas going to. So for example, the city that is most searched for is Lisbon, followed by Porto, Albufeira in Algarve, Funchal in Madeira. So you can understand if your location is being more searched than another one or not. And where sources of demand, for me, this is probably the most important of them all, is understanding where the demand is coming from. Because most of us working in the travel sector, what we want to do is we want to communicate to other markets. And here you can understand who is your target audience, right? So for example, we can see that after Portuguese demand, people that are searching more for accommodation in Portugal are first coming from the UK, then from Spain, then from France, Germany, etc. You have some additional information. You can here see for each, for example, each location, which one is growing the most as well, which is interesting to find, to see if there's an increased trend for your specific location if you're working in a specific region. But again, it's just one of those tools that I would advise you to come here and explore with due time. It has lots of information and lots of data points that you can take. Now, coming back to our presentation, finally, I won't talk too much in detail about this one, but so there are several types of company in the tourism industry, and some of them might not be specifically, selling a hotel or a flight or a tourist activity back here in Portugal. Maybe you are selling, let's say, a certain service for travel companies within other markets. And what Market Finder is, it's basically a tool that allows you to see what's the information when you want to do business in other countries. And this goes from what's the purchasing power in that country, what's the ease of doing business in a certain market, what's the competitiveness in terms of digital marketing. So basically, if, let's say you have a company and you are exporting services to other markets, or products that in some way might be related to tourism, and you want to understand, okay, which market should I sell my product to? Market Finder is a really good way to start. Okay, again, I won't go too much into detail about it because I think it's only useful for very specific cases of the tourism industry. But in terms of let's say getting data, analyzing data, finding insights, these would be the main tools that I would recommend for anyone working in the travel industry. But then on the execution side, we have a lot of tools that are either related to advertising or to content creation, and all of these are essential for companies that are looking to promote their product to potential customers. The most important tool of them all, in my humble opinion, is Google Ads, which is obviously one of the tools that I work with the most on my day-to-day basis. And what Google Ads does, it allows you to present ads on Google search and on the Google search engine to people who are searching for your products or services. But it also allows you to create advertising for other formats such as display and video. And I will also talk about new specific formats that are being built specifically for the travel industry. We then have YouTube, where you can basically create video content to present to a vast audience and kind of inspire them on either why should they visit your destination, why should they book your hotel, why should they, if you have, let's say, a tour company, why should they visit the attractions that you are promoting. And we have Google My Business, which was recently rebranded to Google Business Profile, which is a completely free platform that allows you to place all the physical information of your business, such as location, time, telephone, and photographs, on platforms such as Google Maps and the Google search engine. And then we also have Waze, which is one of the biggest GPS applications where brands can also highlight their physical stores to consumers who are on the move. I want to give a few details on some of these tools because I think it's very important to talk about them. First, I want to give a very brief one-on-one overview of Google Ads. Google Ads is a very big platform with lots of different functionalities, but I want to try and kind of demystify the complexity. What Google Ads does at its core, the way it was built, is it basically allows you to show ads to people that are searching for your product. So the way it works in a very simple way is you add keywords. So you basically think, okay, people that are searching for my business, for my product, what are they searching for? So for example, if I have, let's say, a hotel in Lisbon, I want my ad to show up for people that are searching for hotels in Lisbon or best hotels in Lisbon. If I have a tour company let's say, in Évora, I want to show up for people that are searching for what to do in Évora, best attractions in Évora, tour companies in Évora, etc. And then you select these keywords. What then happens is when people search for these keywords on Google, your ads appear and you pay if someone clicks on your ad. On a very simple way, this is how Google Ads works for search. It's kind of the core product of Google Ads, and for most people, this will also be the core of what they will be doing with Google Ads. Then there's obviously then a bunch of different functionalities that you can do within Google Ads, but a little bit further ahead, I'll show you how you can explore a little bit more Google Ads and how to use it. But then, as I was saying, Google Ads allows you also to show video ads on YouTube. So on YouTube, you can either create your own content and show it in a free way. But if you want, let's say, to push this content to a certain type of audience, you can do that through Google Ads. So you can put your own videos in Google Ads and select the type of audience that you want to promote your ads to within YouTube. And last but not least, you can also show up across different Google and third-party inventory with either social ads or display ads, again, to a different type of audience. And that, for me, is actually one of the best highlights that Google Ads has, is the richness of audience that you can use. Because on one hand, specifically if you are working on search, you use keywords to target which users you want to show up for. But if you're working more across YouTube and third-party websites and display, you'll probably need to use either your own first-party audience that you might have, for example, with Google Analytics or with a certain CRM, but also Google audience, which goes through a big spectrum. Google has different types of audiences, from people that are in market to do something. So, for example, in the travel industry, one of the audiences that we usually use the most to promote either a destination or a hotel or an airline is people that are in market to travel for somewhere. So you can actually use Google Ads to target people that are in market to travel to Portugal. So people that are actively looking to travel to Portugal, for example, or to Spain or to France or to wherever you are promoting. You also have, for example, life events. So people that just got married, for example, is a type of audience that we have within Google Ads, which usually is a very valuable audience, for example, for someone that has a luxury hotel and wants to target people that might be going on a honeymoon. And then you also have affinity and demographic audiences, which are more around let's say, the day-to-day interests and behavior of someone. So one of the most valuable audiences that we have in the spectrum for the tourism sector is what we call travel buffs. So people that are usually researching for, travel destinations, people that look for travel, that are looking usually at travel videos on YouTube. They might not be specifically looking to travel on that specific moment, but this is something they are very interested in usually. And then I want to briefly touch on a specific product that Google Ads has been developing specifically for the travel industry, which is hotel ads. So hotel ads is, as the name says, for companies that are running hotels and want to promote their hotels within either Google search or Google Maps. The way it works is very simple. We use specific keywords that are related to hotel search, be it, for example, people that are searching for a specific hotel. So, for example, people that already know they want to go to Caesar's Palace and they search for Caesar's Palace in Google Ads. But people might be looking, for example, for a certain a hotel brand in a specific city, for example, Marriott Las Vegas, and then we show all the Marriotts that are in Las Vegas, or people that are just doing generic searches as well for a hotel in a certain city. The best way to go about using hotel ads is if you are a hotel owner. If you are a hotel owner, and if you most likely are present, for example, in Booking. In order to be present in Booking, you need to do it with a system integrator. So you probably work with a company that integrates your hotel into Booking.com. That company should be able to put you on hotel ads as well. So talk to your system integrator, because most likely has a partnership with Google and is able to put your hotel in Google Ads. Finally, one product that is still very much in pilot, so it's not available to everyone yet, but I think it's very, very exciting, especially for those that either have, let's say, a tour operator or have a specific attraction that they are promoting. It's a product that we call Things to Do. So either for people that are searching for things to do in Lisbon, in Paris, whatever, or for people that are searching for a specific attraction where you need to buy tickets, what we are doing is we're building this carousel that you see in the image here that allows people to buy directly the ticket to that attraction from you. So I think this, like for tour operators or for people that sell excursions, for example, this is a very interesting product. Again, it's not fully available yet, but keep your eyes open because it should be available in the future. Now, how can you learn more about Google Ads? Again, I think Google Skillshop, which is again a platform where we have a bunch of courses on the different areas of Google Ads, but even certifications on Google Ads. I think this is the best way to start. If you're not using Google Ads yet, you should definitely go into Google Skillshop and look for the courses on Google Ads. I think you will be able to learn a lot and feel much more confident starting to use the platform. Now, I want to quickly talk about YouTube. I'm not sure if everyone knows what this is. This is actually the first video that was ever uploaded in YouTube. This is the YouTube founder that uploaded a 19-second video of him at the zoo. But obviously, YouTube has grown a lot into becoming a very big platform. And the reason I want to talk about YouTube as well is because we've recently done a study where we compare the different elements and the influence they have on travel behavior and on travel decisions. And we actually compare what people, let's say, what travelers say or how they perceive that these elements have an impact on their decisions. And then we actually try to understand if in reality they have a different impact, or if they drive behavior in a different way. And we found that inspiring content, for most travelers, they don't believe that it has an impact on their decision making when making their traveling decisions. But when we then analyzed their behavior closely, we saw that it had a much bigger impact than they thought. So we analyzed 35 different elements. People, when they ranked these elements in terms of impact on their traveler behavior, inspiring content was the 23rd, so very much at the bottom. But then when we look closely at behavior, we saw that the inspiring content was the 7th most impactful element in terms of behavior. So it's very important for travel companies either to create their own inspiring content or to associate in some way with inspiring content. And I think that this, on one hand, obviously can be done by you creating your own content and promoting within YouTube. But I also think that the trend of, let's say, digital creators and digital influencers, and especially within the travel sector, is a very easy way for you to build this inspiring content through someone else. Especially if you want to promote to big markets like the US, where you have hundreds and hundreds of these travel creators, and it's not that hard to connect with them, to be honest, and maybe do a partnership and have them like promote some of your content. I think this is very, very important in these days, and honestly, something that I think most travel companies are kind of overlooking, to be honest. Finally, I want to talk about Google Business Profile, which used to be called Google My Business, which is nothing more than a tool that allows you to include all of your business information within Google Maps and other Google tools. I think it's super important because, first of all, it's free. So I think anything that is free is good, right? But also it's very, very easy to use. So if your business is already present on Google Maps, because of information that Google took from the internet, you can just claim ownership and start editing. If not, you can do it from scratch on the Google Business Profile page. And also it's personalized, right? You can add a lot of information about your product or your service that will allow travelers to better connect with you. First of all, you can add all of the essential information. So if you're a restaurant, for example, you can add which times you are open. If you're a hotel, you can say exactly where your hotel is. Because I mean, if you look into Google Maps, most of the times this is the type of information that people are going to looking for. Is a business open or not? What's the phone number that I can call them, etc. But then, in going a little bit back again into inspiring content, you can share photos. You can add, for example, if you have a hotel, you can add different images of your rooms, of the amenities in your hotel. If you have a restaurant, you can add photos of your menus so that people know what they're going for. But also, we've added even options to share a bit more about your business and how, for example, you relate to certain audience, be it LGBTQ audience, be it veteran audience, African American, women, etc. So it also allows you to kind of share who you are and who your business is and who you can relate to. Then you can also create posts. This is something a lot of people don't know, is that you can create posts within Google My Business. So let's say if you have an event, if you have a promo, something like that, you can add this so that when people see your business on Google Search or on Google Maps, they see that you have something special coming up. You can respond to reviews. So actually, back in the study that I was mentioning of the travel behaviors, we found that credibility is one of the most impactful elements that influences drive travelers' behavior. And Google Business Profiles is one of the best ways for you to manage that, because it allows people to review your business. You can incentivize them to review your business, but you can also then engage with them, give them special offers if, for example, if they leave you a bad review, you can give them a special offer or leave feedback and say that you are attending to that feedback, which these days is very, very important to build credibility with the travel community. Then another thing that a lot of people don't know is that you can actually send and receive direct messages with Google My Business. So for example, again, if you are a hotel and people want to know if the reception is open at a certain time, you can use direct messages to do that. You can also have automated responses. So it's a really good functionality that most people don't know of. And also you can post answers for frequently asked questions. So basically, you can list already up front a lot of information that some people will probably want to know. Again, for example, if you are a hotel, people will want to know, does the hotel have a pool? You can immediately say, yes, the hotel has a pool. The people want to know, is the reception open 24 hours a day? Yes, the reception is open 24 hours a day. All of that. Yes, Ricardo, I'll share the presentation with Walter afterwards, so he can share with everyone. And overall, that is it. I mean, Waze is, I didn't want to go too much into detail about it, because again, I think it's also important only for a very specific type of business in the travel industry. But for all the other ones, I think these are super important. As I mentioned, some of them are not built specifically for travel operators, but any of them should be used by a travel operator, right? And that is why I thought it would be interesting to bring them here and talk a little bit more about them. What I encourage you now is to, for the ones that you have more curiosity, set out to explore them, try to understand how they work. If they are more complex products like Google Analytics or Google Ads, go into Skillshop and try to understand how they work, do a certification. And obviously, if you have any question now, I'll be more than glad to answer.
Thank you, Antonio, for this fantastic presentation. If some attendees have some questions, I ask to write in the chat, please. I see that Hugo Francisco, I think he has some question. Please, Hugo.
Probably typing.
Okay, and Antonio, this presentation about the Google tool solutions is amazing. The insights were incredible value for all the SMEs.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll share some links already here in the chat so that people can have them. So this first one is the Destination Insights. Okay, I'll share Google Trends as well. Here we go. I think this one is important. I'll share my business profile in case you haven't in any way start managing your profile on Google. This one, super, super important. Hugo, the My Business change, it's only in the name. I mean, the tool has been evolving over the years. But I mean, recently this was just a name change. I mean, I guess you will still have more features coming. The tool is always evolving. Right now, this was just a simple name change. And the other one I want to share is this one, Skillshop. So again, if you want to learn more about Google Analytics or Google Ads, feel free to go into Skillshop and explore the content there. Okay.
It's like a capacitation webpage. Yeah.
Yes. You have a certification. You have like a course with different topics. It's really good. It actually used to be a Google internal. I think so. I'm not very familiar with Google Garage, to be honest with you. But it used to be an internal tool, or we used to have an internal tool for when people joined Google and needed to learn more about our products, and we basically replicated for an external version. João, to what extent is the live events accurate? For example, taking a driver's license. I mean, obviously, we can't say that the audiences within Google Ads are always 100% accurate, right? But we take a bunch of signals that allow us to understand if someone is in a specific moment of their life. For example, people that are going to get married, they are probably searching for wedding venues. They are searching for honeymoon destinations, and we basically take two things. We take on one hand what they are searching for on Google. On the other hand, we take what type of websites they are visiting, what type of videos they are watching on YouTube, and actually more things. We take, for example, what type of applications are people downloading on the Play Store. What else? What types of things are they searching on Google Maps? So we take all of this into account in order to understand if they are in a specific life moment or not. Obviously, like, we can't say that it's always 100% accurate, but most likely they have accuracy, let's say.
Awesome. Thank you very much again, Antonio. I don't know if the attendees have more questions to do. If not, we are close the webinar about the capacitation plan and the Google solutions. Okay.
Sorry, Nisha,
Yeah.
read the question from Carlos. Saying that Portuguese companies have to provide their employees with certified learning, certain amount of hours per year. To whom can I ask about certified learning as per Portuguese legal definition regarding Google Workspace? Carlos, the best way probably is to go to the Google Workspace website and try and get in touch directly with them. Unfortunately, they are a different team from me, so I cannot help that much with that. Sorry, but I would say that's the best solution.
Okay. Once again, Antonio, thank you very much for your presence
No worries.
and for sharing with us your expertise to this amazing audience. Thank you, Valeria, as well for your presentation about the capacitation plan, for the Tourism 4.0. And thank you everyone for attending today at the webinar. Because we have a little issue in the beginning because the Eventbrite web page was down, but we have a lot of attendees here, more than 100. It's awesome for us. We hope you found it informative and insightful webinar, and we appreciate your engagement and participation through the session. Before we close, we would like to remind you that there will be another webinar on digital marketing organized by Dura from Croatia on April 24. This webinar will cover the latest trends and the best practice in digital marketing, and we encourage you to join us for what promised to be another informative session. The registration is opening in the Eventbrite, so please feel free to sign up and invite your colleagues and friends to attend it. We look forward to seeing you there. Once again, thank you, all of you, for joining us today, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you, Walter. Bye.
Thank you, Valeria.